Nestled in the heart of Spain is Toledo, its medieval capital. At the heart of this UNESCO World Heritage Site stands the cathedral, an awe-inspiring testament to Gothic architecture and a beacon of religious and cultural significance. Besides a place of worship, it is a veritable museum of ecclesiastical art. It houses the most beautiful choir in the whole Christendom and a magnificent altarpiece, to name a few. And this is what we're visiting today. Welcome to Toledo's Cathedral. This is my Barrio, my Mundo. The cathedral we're now visiting stands on the same site that once housed the city's first religious temple in Roman times and later Visigothic basilica. It is the same place where Muslims built their great Al-Jama mosque for 300 years, which was later adopted and consecrated for Christian worship in 1086. It's also the same place that 2 years later received the title of Cathedral Primada because it belonged to the first diocese of the ancient Kingdom of Spain. Although the construction of its current Gothic structure did not begin until 1227. Since then, it has been considered one of the world's premier heritage treasures. We pass through the grille that closes off the choir, crafted by Domingo de Cespedes between 1541 and 1548. We find ourselves in one of the most beautiful choirs in Christendom. The choir in the cathedral is the space designated for the prayers or chants of the cathedral clergy, archbishop, canons, prebendaries, and choir chaplains. Currently, it is only used for some major celebrations. The most remarkable feature of the choir is its choir stalls, a catechesis that we can follow from seat to seat, as no two seats are the same. It is divided horizontally between the upper choir and the lower choir, with a total of 120 seats that were occupied according to the hierarchical position of the attendees. And now let's approach the high altar. We find ourselves at the intersection of the central nave and the transept. If we look up, we discover a majestic cross formed by the Gothic vaults that cover these two main naves of the cathedral. In front of us stands the majestic high altar, with its imposing altarpiece, guarded by a monumental Renaissance grille. The monumental altarpiece before us occupies the entire presbytery, both in width and height, transforming it into an exemplary vertical catechesis crafted in polychrome and gilded wood. Every detail was conceived and executed according to a carefully thought out program to exalt the Eucharist. The transparente, a prodigious example of Baroque scenic architecture, was conceived with the essential purpose of illuminating the tabernacle with natural light. Upon an elegant altar, the majesty of the Virgin Mary with the child in her arms rises. The scenography mimics the radiance of the sun with a multitude of rays, symbolizing the most holy sacrament, the divine light that guides us in life. In its surrounding, a moving and sublime amalgamation of marble figures represents the archangels, Saint Michael, Saint Raphael, Saint Gabriel among angels, and swirling clouds. Now, on to the chapter room. The chapter room is another initiative of the exemplary Cardinal Cisneros, who planned 2 rooms, an anteroom which we're passing now, intended for the archive of the chapter's acts, and the main room for the meetings of the chapter. Both the anteroom and the chapter room itself were built between 1504 and 1512. The rectangular room is covered with beautiful Mudéjar craftsmanship, and the cabinets for the archive of the chapter acts were carved by the same sculptors of portals and altarpieces. And we are now at the chapter room proper, which displays portraits of all the primate bishops who, starting with Saint Eugenius, are part of a group of prelates who have shaped the history of the Church of Toledo. The Cardinal commissioned Juan de Borgoña to paint portraits of the first 32 archbishops and decorate the walls with scenes of the Passion of Christ, the Last Judgment, and the life of the Virgin Mary. An altar dedicated to the miracle of Saint Ildefonsus. It depicts the descent of the Most Holy Virgin and her apparition. It is dated to the night of December 18, 665, when Saint Ildefonsus, the Archbishop of Toledo, saw a bright light inside the temple. Now let's proceed to the lower cloister. Access from inside the cathedral includes the portal of the Presentation and the St. Catherine door, recognizable by the images of the saint that can be found in the mullion. The original frescoes were painted, among others, by Pedro Berruguete, the father of Alonso. This cloister is a perfect square formed by 4 galleries. The galleries are connected to the courtyard through 5 wide pointed arches, embellished with an artistic wrought iron grille from the 18th century. And that concludes our visit to Toledo's Cathedral, here on my Barrio, my Mundo, sharing places, events, and cultures. I'd like to see you again on our next videos. Thank you.